And we're back. Hello, all of our beautiful viewers. Hello, Mom, and the other one person that's currently listening to this. Today, we really don't have an agenda, but we're just going to bullshit and talk around and see what the fuck happens.
Mm-hmm. That's the best way to do it. All right. Okay, so we recently watched the first NBA Finals, probably of my life, and one thing that was evident and stood out to me, and then I therefore Googled it afterwards, was the fact
Power
that
Google.
the NBA now is like all just super teams, and if you're not a super team, you lose like tons of games, and you don't have any shot of being a contender. I don't know. That's just so crazy. Like I feel like in baseball, it'd be like the equivalent of being like, oh, let's get Mike Trout and Aaron Judge
It'd be
and
the
Bryce
equivalent
Harper.
of being the New York Yankees for the last 50 years.
Dude, not even, because if you think about it, they've not been like dominant the last few seasons outside of this one for a period of time. But like if you think about it, like you think, okay, like Mike Trout's got to be a combination of like the LeBron, KD, and Steph Curry of the game, right? And if you think you combine that with like people like Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper, like imagine if they were on your team. Like imagine if you had like Mike Trout hit one.
Yeah, those are called all-star teams.
Yeah, which would be crazy. But that's the NBA.
East
Like I
versus
feel
West,
like
national versus, whatever.
I know, but if you look at the Warriors, like you look at them. I mean, even the Cavs, like you had Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. Like those are three elite players. Like you don't really see that.
I feel like what's happening
teams.
is the people now were raised on playing video games and just choosing these all-star teams, and that's what they're trying to do in real life.
It's
They're
working.
They're just like, yeah, LeBron wants to go back here, and who's he gonna bring? Who's gonna take a pay cut? Oh, this is our salary cap. Our general manager, fuck him, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The coach, I'm just gonna start making all the play calls. Life is just one big fucking video game now.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. But it's so weird watching that sport now, I feel like, because neither of us really grew up ever being big basketball people, NBA people. And like recently watching it now, it was just like, it was odd to watch because you're thinking like, this is so different than every other sport because you only have 5 guys. And if you invite like your best friends who also happen to be some of the best basketball players on the planet Earth, and you're like, hey, come play with my team. And you realize like, oh, there's 5 of them. And then everyone else is just losing tons of games. It's like, it's barely even like a competitive sport anymore, I feel like. Right?
Well, part of it is that Steph Curry is just unstoppable. I don't know why anybody hates him. He seems like such a genuine fucking dude. And we talk about this pretty much every podcast, how there's genuine people and people still hate them. But the thing to me is that Steph Curry doesn't...
so odd.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make any sense.
Maybe it's just the thought that they can't be that, and they're just like, well, fuck them. There's no way that person's real.
Right.
Know?
Which I don't think has to be the case at all. Like if...
Well, it's that whole thing. It's that whole mentality. People put down other people because they're intimidated by them.
Right.
I don't think there's, in terms of, people call Steph's shots ugly and whatever else, but that boy has drilled so many threes. He's broken so many records. And, he's still with the same woman, loves his kid. I don't get it. What is there to hate? What is there to hate?
I don't know. I guess it's success. Oddly enough, I feel like.
I don't know. Oh, well. Anyways, fuck basketball. I'm going to talk about a couple things that we use that we really enjoy. The disclaimer here, we don't have any type of sponsorships. Everything is self-bought. We use the stuff that we like because we actually like it, not because someone's paying us $15,000 to say that we like it. Before we started this podcast, we did a lot of research in terms of what was the industry standard to be used. That's why we got the microphones we did. That's why we got, $3,000 computer, et cetera, et cetera. But
right.
when it comes to headphones, I mean, obviously there's no industry standard for that. People aren't like, oh, get these Shure headphones or get these Audio Technicas or the AKGs or what. You know, they don't.
Right.
There's no industry standard for that, but there is. Have you seen those memes, like those starter pack memes, where they're like,
Oh yeah,
bully starter pack, and they'll be
They'll
wearing
have like a T-shirt and like
T-shirt and
specific-
hat and those
yeah.
ugly fucking Fox glasses, or their dad drives a fucking Camaro. I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like there's like a podcast starter pack, and you could throw microphones in there, computer in there,
Right.
a set of headphones, you know, mixer, whatever you need. But for us, we've both been in technology for several years now, and we tried Bose, and I have a pair of Bose headphones. Beats, we have several pairs of Beats, and then we tried these headphones that were same price point, about the same review. They're called V-Moda. What's the website? You know what the website is?
You should be able to just go like vmoda.com or just Google vmoda headphones, something like that.
Super awesome. I mean, so we're kind of nerdy, or I guess geeky is the technical term for it. But we play video games sometimes. Nazi zombies, what up?
Basically, okay, clarification. Basically, only zombies.
That's
like,
true.
Nothing else.
That's
that's very
true.
occasionally. So
Except for the last week.
not that. Yeah, true.
I mean, everyone geeks out on something.
Right.
But we use these motherfuckers for podcasting, for listening to music at the gym, for they have like this cool headset piece that you can use for online gaming. There's just a lot of cool shit you could do with them. I think the price point's like $200-300, not bad. Industry standard for headphones.
Right.
What else? What other shit do we use?
As far as
I don't know. What else do we like? What else can we turn people onto?
beard oil.
Yeah, I've been using. That's funny you mentioned that. So we tried a bunch of different beard oils. If you're listening, we do have beards about medium size, nothing too crazy, not a designer beard or anything like that. But got into the point where where we needed a little bit of beard oil because it was looking dry and crusty.
There's nothing good about dry and crusty beards.
So we started doing a little research in terms of beard oil. And to be honest, I found one that I really liked. That the price point is crazy cheap, and it comes with, at least the one that I got, it came with a beard comb, which is made out of wood. Wood's supposed to not pull your hair, and et cetera, et cetera. I think it's called Profit beard oil. What do you use?
Just basically steal yours most of the time.
I was wondering
I
why
had
that was
one
going
off
on so
Amazon. It was pretty good. Honestly, I don't even remember the name of it. The smell just wasn't that fantastic. It was very, very like naturally oily, which when you're putting a bunch extra oils into your beard, it's kind of weird, you know? Because then you smell that odor and you're like, this doesn't smell amazing. Whereas,
little dick slipped in.
we'll have to edit that out. JK. So basically, shit, what was I going to say?
Beard oil, putting shit
Oh
in your
yeah,
beard.
like the Profit stuff smells like really like just kind of mellow. To me, it has like a little mintiness to it, but it still has
Minty
like
overbirth.
I think it's pronounced milfy overbirth. But yeah, I think that stuff. I think the combination of beard oil is just like where it doesn't like overly make your beard feel like moist, but it also just like kind of nourishes your beard and then has a good smell.
I just like when it's a little shiny.
True.
I like when it has a little shine, you know, that fresh out of the shower shine.
Yeah, I mean when you feel your beard and it doesn't feel like crusty and like dry and crackly, then you're like, okay, this is cool. Like I can vibe with this. But when you, oh man, people that don't ever like touch their beard and I mean people that should have beard oil in the beard, like, oh wow, you have a respectable beard, but they don't put anything in it. Like you could just see like the flakiness of it. That's when you're like, okay, put some goddamn beard oil in your beard.
Intervention time. Shit. We talked about movies last time. Has there been anything else? Let's talk about TV. TV is interesting because TV's coming to a place where it's almost more interesting than going to the theaters and watching a movie because
Right.
you can see the story for God, months, years sometimes. Like Lost, I watched all that. Great show up until the last season. Fucking sucked.
Never watched it.
Yeah, don't waste your time. not going to give anything away, but go ahead and waste about 3,000 hours of your time just to be disappointed at the end. It's fucking horrible.
Oh, count me in. Count me in. I'd love to watch that.
Yeah, you have 3,000 hours to waste. Watch Lost. But something that I've enjoyed thoroughly is a lot of the Netflix original shows or ones that they've picked up.
Right.
Netflix is fucking killing cable TV right now. I mean, as soon as Netflix came out, basically with their streaming services, we completely got rid of all of our cable services, which was like what, $100 and something bucks.
Yeah. I mean, growing up, we didn't have anything, and then for a couple years.
I'm talking about for the couple years that we had it.
Right. For the couple years.
5 years ago, something like that.
Probably.
Back when Netflix was drop something in your mailbox, get a movie a couple days later.
It's true.
Now you pay what, like $8.99, and you could watch all these shows, and now Hulu's doing it, and what are the other ones?
Well, there's like that. What is it called? Sling TV or some shit like that.
Yeah, Sling TV. They do Roku, but I'm talking about the actual like services. Sling is a service. Sling's a service. I thought that was like I was thinking of that Fire Stick or whatever. But I think that kind of stuff is fucking destroying cable TV.
Right.
Similar in the way that people make the comparison. Well, the internet destroyed libraries. Is that true? Is that real? Because libraries are still around.
I don't think so. I mean, dude,
I cable companies are still around.
Yeah.
Maybe it's similar. I don't know.
I mean, I think
someone look up the statistics.
Somebody do it. Somebody's got to do it. I mean, I think the idea of like new technology destroying like not even technology, but things like books or something like that. Like, I don't think it ought to ever
Is
go
book
away.
a technology? I mean, what's the definition of technology?
I don't even know. It's a good question. It'd be interesting to see if that would classify as a technology because
it definitely would.
Like, I tried reading a book online one time, like on my computer, and I just lost it so fast. I was like, this does not have like the same feel as if I'm reading something like when I would open a book. Like, for me, I think, like, the smell of the parchment and the
Who gives a fuck about that?
The crackle of the book. Dude, I think it's huge, man. Like, I think...
That is so lame.
It's like watching movies. I mean, not watching movies. It's like reading books.
Reading books. So what you're saying is reading books is like reading books.
No, what I'm saying is I'm trying to make the comparison of reading a book, like, freaking compared to, like, reading a Kindle or on your iPad. It is just absolutely
Kindles are just
not
shitty.
the same.
Those things just hurt my fucking eyes.
Do they even exist anymore?
I think they do.
Question.
Kindle,
I'm
no
sure
offense.
they do because Amazon took over for them, right? Isn't that?
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about Amazon for a second.
No. I want to continue this talk about Netflix.
Okay.
And talk about what kind of if people haven't watched these shows, what they should watch.
What should they watch?
Yeah, I have one, and I know you're gonna steal it right away.
Yes, I will steal it. But Peaky Blinders is a fantastic freaking show. Well, okay, honestly, what I think is cool is that it's not like the way Netflix has kind of changed things is like you think when you would compare like small screen like TV stuff to like the big screen cinema, like the only thing that was really comparable was like Game of Thrones shit, like HBO, Showtime, like basically softcore pornography. And it was like, that's all your comparison, where you'd have like some cool action and really expensive set pieces. But now I feel like with Netflix, it's like you're not reliant on like showing boobs and you're not reliant on having like just this kind of cheap action thrill, you know? Whereas like Peaky Blinders is like not that actiony. It's like tons and tons of dialogue, tons of character development. And then because the acting is like, that's like obviously where they took their time, spent their money getting really solid actors. It's like freaking addicting for like the good reasons, being like, oh, where is this narrative going, and how are these characters going to develop from this week to next week, rather than just dependent on like cliffhangers and like hooks in the
titillation.
In the
is that
action.
What you're saying? Some titillation.
Some motherfucking titillation.
Although there are boobs in Peaky Blinders.
Are there?
The real kinda, I think
maybe, I don't even know.
I want to see the mom's boobs.
But that's the best.
The aunt.
Really?
No, I don't. But that would be interesting.
I was about to say, man.
I think shows like that, Sons of Anarchy, Mad Men, these things that have Peaky Blinders isn't where they have like 7 seasons of it, but Mad Men, you could fucking spend part of your life watching that show, and it's still interesting, at least to me.
Right.
The story writing is so good.
Yeah. I think the reason
there's no action. There's not a lot of boobs in it. I mean, there's a lot of innuendos, but
I mean, I think what makes things like Peaky Blinders so much cooler than what has existed before. I mean, for me, honestly, like I don't really like shows that have literally like 7, 10, 12 seasons. Like I would really much prefer just seeing like 3 seasons where you're like, oh man, every one of these episodes is like a miniature movie, and like
yet you still watched all 57 seasons of Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
How many seasons were there? 6?
Dude, I don't know, something like that. That's like been the one show that I've watched that has like tons of stuff like actually like watching. Whereas like compared to like I feel like The Office and Parks and Rec, like that's just a show you can basically choose any episode and play it. Like I've never even really just done like episode 1 to the last episode like in perfect order. I've never ever done that, but it's still probably my favorite show of all time. But like I feel like there's a giant difference between just a funny show like that you'd play while doing like homework or other things, compared to Peaky Blinders. It has like I think 3 seasons, and every episode is like you're freaking like glued to the TV.
Okay, I'll let you talk about Amazon now. My guess is it's going to be how Amazon's taken over the world. Is that what it is?
No, I mean
I just
honestly,
bought a fucking.
I mean, Amazon just blows my mind. Like, if you look, like, you download the app or you just go on Amazon.com, you could just look forever at different products that you're, like, kind of interested in.
You could do the same thing on Pornhub.
It's true.
Look forever.
Very true. But, like, you could just find tons and tons of stuff that you really don't need, but it's, like, cheap enough where you're like, oh, I could buy it. And, like, the fact that they have so much stuff on there blows my mind because of this. Because they still do like that Prime membership for like dirt cheap, and they ship everything today, man. That's crazy.
It's not everything, dude. I was trying to get something the other day. I was like, not eligible for a Prime.
No, I know, not everything, but the fact that they can do so much. Like I could if I thought about like, oh, like I kind of want to own this movie, or like I mean, never really buy movies anymore. But like if you think about anything like beard oil, like you're like, oh, let's go on Amazon to look for beard oil, and you'd have like 20 options that would ship to you in 2 days. Like, how random is beard oil for most people? Yet you could find a large amount of stuff that you could get in a couple of days for free. Like, right? Like, that's crazy.
For
like,
free, you mean shipping?
Right.
Shipping
like,
free.
logistically. Like, I don't even know. Like, I would love to sit down with somebody high up in Amazon and be like, how did you come up with this business model? And how do you still make tons and tons and tons of money? Because, like, Apple makes sense, right? Like, they've never done, like, discounts. They've never made... like cheap product, really. It's always been like high-end, expensive product. There's no sales, and yet they still are like the biggest company in the world. But then you look
at the biggest, most profitable, but
right.
I think what Amazon does, they rely on quantity, when Apple relies on 5-10% of the market. But you're also looking at a $3,000 machine,
right,
or a $1,000 phone,
right,
or a $300 iPod.
It's true.
With Amazon, you're like, let me just get all these things, and let me get. I'm sure their markup is insane. They could buy anything in bulk. Anyone wants to sell through Amazon, because once it's available through Amazon and Amazon Prime, people are more likely to buy it.
Right. Yeah. It's true. Like the product.
The beard oil, I'm sure
different.
they get 40% markup on something like that.
I wouldn't doubt it. But as far as like retail consumer cost and like effectiveness of ordering and getting it really quickly, like there's no one that even comes close. Yeah. Like it's just crazy. I remember thinking, even when I was younger, thinking that Amazon was like kind of like the same thing or similar to eBay.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I thought they were like competitors.
Right. Right.
But eBay's more like consumer to consumer.
Right. It's like more like Craigslist without ever having to like any kind of person to person interaction.
That's weird. That's weird that you bring up Craigslist. So we're from Long Beach, California, the LA area. I've probably sold and purchased hundreds of items on Craigslist. When we moved,
thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we lived in not that great of an area. Oftentimes we met up in like a Starbucks or something like that, and we never ever had an issue. I'd sold thousands of dollars worth of computers and phones and whatever. When we're done with them, we just sell it on Craigslist.
Right.
Don't want to deal with shipping, the damage costs, whatever from eBay. And we moved to Dallas, which is supposedly, we live in one of the safest cities in the nation here. And our friends have been held up at gunpoint, at knife point, counterfeit money, like all this stuff. I wonder what the difference is.
I don't know.
Talking about Craigslist, I
Right.
just think that's so weird. You look at
It
the
is.
demographic and you look at the crime rates, and I'm sure there are higher crime rates. I know for a fact there's higher crime rates back in California where we lived, but here,
Like McKinney, Plano, Frisco, you mean?
yeah, I mean people are getting ripped off, and in other places they're just literally getting their money taken from them.
Right. It is very strange. Like, yeah, it's weird because I don't know if there's like a different mindset or if it's just kind of coincidental. But yeah, I mean, we used to buy like guitar amps, guitars. We used to
We go to
sell-
people's houses.
Yeah,
Here everyone meets in public and they still get
I know.
fucked. We would go to people's houses. I remember we bought so Tanner plays drums. We bought some cymbal stands from a guy, and we drove like an hour away, and we went to this guy's fucking garage.
Mm-hmm.
For all we knew, it could have been a lair where he chops up bodies. Who knows?
Yeah.
But here we've always met people, in public, and our close personal friends have had issues.
Right. I don't know.
Super bizarre.
It is bizarre, for sure.
Stay safe out there, folks.
Stay safe.
I think this is gonna be it for this one. Just a couple minutes, something to listen to while you're driving or jerking off or whatever you fucking do.
Yeah. So wait, let's talk about this. Let's plan ahead here. So next time we'll go in depth, basically, of the actual pre-production process of making our short film. As it's something that we're both passionate about, I think it'd be cool just to kind of really unveil exactly how we did it. Because if you haven't seen it, be sure to go watch it, YouTube, and then just Fragile Fish.
Or fragilfish.com.
Or fragilfish.com. Even better, scroll to the bottom, and there's the motherfucking video. But yeah, I think it'll be cool just to kind of chat about it. For us, I think to kind of recollect what that experience was like,
Mm-hmm.
and then just to relay that to
Yeah.
the listener.
All right, everybody. Next time we're doing the pre-production walkthrough overview of our movie Fragile Fish.
Fragile
Catch it
Fish.
at fragilfish.com. Again,
at fragilfish.com.
Again, we are sponsored by absolutely nobody but ourselves.
Correct.
And everything that we say here is because we actually enjoy doing it or using their products. Until next time.
Bye.